Recently, ICE has requested Congress for an increase in funding. Their amount, $8.8 million increase. But is it worth the taxpayers' money? Many people are unaware of this, which only benefits ICE's plan to expand detention centers. We also have to ask ourselves, how will the money be used? There have been many reports of abuse that have taken place within detention centers.
Staff que trabajaban ahí.
He was 42 years old, married, white guard. She's a 19-year-old asylum seeker with a 3-year-old.
In 2014, Edie and her son awaited asylum at Berks, a family detention facility contracted by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, known as ICE.
Her life experience is one in Honduras of being brutally beaten and raped by her partner. But she was also in this Berks County facility that is purported to provide a safe space for these families while they go through the immigration process.
La primera vez que él abusó de mí sexualmente fue en agosto.
He had been giving them favors, giving her little boy toys and candy, and he had told her that, he could help her out and that he was friends with a deportation officer.
Una tarde estábamos afuera como en el parque y él me dijo que yo le gustaba. O sea, lo tomé como que estaba jugando.
I did have feelings for her. I mean, I liked her. I wasn't my home life wasn't as great. So it was nice to have somebody, that would give me attention.
Early on, Sharkey told his supervisors that Edie was flirting with him. Maria sought asylum in the United States after fleeing violence in Guatemala. She spent over a month in an immigration detention center. She was permitted to leave the facility in 2010 while her case was pending.
No sabía lo que me estaba esperando después de mi salida. Sentí que el AVEN donde íbamos, que cambió de carretera. Paró la AVEN y me saca la llave de las manos y me baja y me dice, bájate. Pero no miraba nada claro, solo era un montarrajal, como el desierto nuevamente. Me tocaba los senos, me metía las manos en el pantalón, me tocaba donde yo era mi parte de mujer.
The man Maria's referring to is Donald Dunn. He was a guard at the Tidon Hutto Residential Center in Texas where Maria was held. One of Dunn's jobs was to transport detainees.
Y él me tocaba nuevamente, ahí adentro la banqueta con la mano amarrada. Y él se empezó a masturbarse, se tocaba él mismo.
When he let her out of the van at the Austin airport, she ran. A guard there at the airport asked her what was wrong, and she immediately told him what had happened.
Y yo pienso que no solo a mí me ha pasado esto, a varias personas.
ICE policy mandates that detainees be transferred with at least one guard of the same sex. But according to case records, Hutto violated that order 77 times in less than a year, allowing male guards, including Dunn, to transport women alone. Ultimately, 8 women testified in a civil suit.
There are 2 of many other personal accounts of institutional abuse. Although their stories provide the public a different perspective of detention centers, ICE has placed efforts to keep this matter concealed.
Currently, there are nearly 42,000 immigrants in detention on any given day. President Trump has already proposed expanding detention capacity for 2019, a plan that could lead to a 50% increase of the daily population since he took office. His new executive order ends family separation, but expands family detention, leading to an even larger population of immigrants held in federal custody.
In situations as such, violence against an inferior population is bound to happen. Instead of allowing it to happen, actions can be made to help people who are forced in these situations. It has become apparent that ICE has yet made steps to prevent this serious matter. The funding that ICE currently maintains is already being used as abuse of power, so imagine what an increase in funding could result in. Women are not the only population who has experienced maltreatment. There are people like her who have experienced worse, both men and children as well. It is no surprise, though, why many people are unaware of this. ICE has made efforts to keep this behind closed doors. As of April of 2018, there have been a sum of 1,224 reports of sexual assault. Of these assault cases, ICE deemed half as inconclusive. In addition, not all facilities are run by government regulations, but are also run by private prison companies. Since each detention center is run by different organizations and companies, the rules and regulations all vary. The prison companies can also benefit from the detention centers, such as cheap meals and low-cost labor. Companies such as Dell, Canon, Amazon, LinkedIn, Comcast, and much more. To build one facility would cost taxpayers about $4.4 million, so we have to ask ourselves, is it worth paying that much if there has only been reports of abuse and neglect in existing facilities? I present to you ICE Detention Center Simulation 2018. I know it's a mouthful, but in order to give people a better understanding of what goes on within the facilities, the ICE Detention Center Simulation was created. Although players of the game cannot physically experience the maltreatment, they would be able to interact with the routes, and their choices would affect the outcome. People would become more aware of the one-on-one interactions between guards and immigrants instead of reading it from articles. To hear it coming from a victim of abuse could be impactful, but to place an audience into the victim's shoes, even virtually, can open up a new perspective. I had conducted a survey within a small group of people to see if the game had some sort of impact. About 20% had not known about the maltreatment within the detention centers. The reaction to the game all consisted of being shocked and appalled by the routes. To see the game's effectiveness, I had incorporated questions regarding the gameplay. 20% had said that they played the game at least 3 times. Overall, many people have said that they had learned something and found the game as interesting. If the game had been posted on popular social media sites, many followers would most likely play the game just out of curiosity. This kind of curiosity can help spread awareness of the maltreatment going on within the detention centers. Although people on social media may scroll past the game, once they are aware of how their tax money is being used, they realize that they are being affected as well. In conclusion, ICE's request for an increase in funding seems uncalled for, considering how much evidence has been brought against them. The ICE detention system is able to remain operational because of taxpayers' money and profiting private institutions. Because of this, many staff members of the detention centers have been misusing their authority over the immigrants, resulting in abuse and trauma. To prevent this, you should contact your state senator through senate.gov.